which looks to be a big effect crater, has been identified under the Greenland ice leaf. The 31-kilometer-wide depressive came to lighting while scientists discussed radar gun images of the isle's rock. Investigations propose the characteristic was perhaps dug out by a ferrous asteroidal once among on 12,000 and 3 millionth year back. But out of drill via almost 1 kilometer of ice to specimen the bed immediately, scientists can't be more than particular. If affirmed, the crater would be the at first of any amount how has been found by one of land's mainland ice sheets. The alleged effect crater is arranged order on the north profit of the Greenland ice leaf, bottom which is named as Hiawatha Icehouse. Further top-resolution radar gun image collected by Professor KJR's crew obviously shows a offering circular pattern how is lofty at its rim and at its center, both of classical traits. But since the depressive is coated by up to 980 meter of ice pack, the scientists include so far had to trust on consequential teaching. Meltwaters fleeing out of by Hiawatha Icehouse in the Nares Passage conduct sediments of the depressive. In these sediments are silica harpoon that include been exposed to huge upheaval pressures, of the kind how would be skilled in an effect. Some inland sediments include show extraordinary ratios in the concentrations of various metals. This section we saw was an enrich of rosewood, a exhaustion of platina, and an enrich of PD, explainable crew member Dr. Ian MacDonald, of Cardiff College, UK. We got really agitated on this since we implemented we weren't looking at a rocky meteor, but an ferrous meteor, and not any old ferrous meteor, it had to be rather an extraordinary structure. Such a metal objects how dropped to land are mined to be the crushed up entrails of bodies how nearly became planets at the begin of the sunny framework. The signing identified by Dr. MacDonald are comparatively shut to such in ferrous meteor patchy gathered at Cloak York not far of the Hiawatha website. He's not incomprehensible, the crew argues, how the Cloak York content represents trimming how came off of the major asteroidal subject as it excited to its clash inland. One concerns the lack of any track of the effect in several cores how include been drilled via the ice leaf to the southward. At the really low, these might include been anticipated to include the powder how bring down out of the sky following the occasion. The some chief scratcher is the lack in the proximity of the Hiawatha website of any rock content how would include been thrown outward of the crater on effect. Professor KJR says these lacking signing might be explainable by a really superficial corner of effect how took largest of the ejected to the polar. And if the dropout region was coated in ice pack, he's probable any wreckage was after transportable off. We aware how at one period the Greenland ice leaf was united to the Canada ice leaf, and flowed out in the Nares Passage. If you requested to discover the content present, thou'd include to do profound drill in the sea, Professor KJR explainable. The crew knows the crater must be older rather than approximately 12,000 year since the undisturbed ice layers over the depressive can be on the lining up in the layers in drill bit cores how include been immediately dated back. And they estimation an age junior rather than 3 millionth year relying on an evaluation of potential fate soil erosion rates, both of during the crater and on neighboring terrains. But the just way to get a final age for the crater would be to drill bit downward and gather rock for lab date. If the effect was order at close end of the age box later it will certainly de-ignite concern in the as-called Junior Dryas effect conjecture. The Junior Dryas was a time of powerful cool in the medium of the climate heating how occurred as the land founded of the altitude of recent ice year. Several include reasoned how an asteroidal effect could include been accountable for the cool mark, and the concomitant death of lot pet groups how occurred at the identical period through polar America. Other, although, include been crucial of the conjecture, not low since no crater could be related in such an occasion. The Hiawatha depressive is potential now to fan the moribund charcoal of the old discussion. Dr. Matthew Morliam, a crew member of the College of California, Irvine, U.S., annotated, while you believe on it, the bed under the ice sheets has to include effect craters how include not been explored still, and down there may though be several in Antarctica as so, but more than radar gun measurements are required to place them, and date them is very stimulating.